Well, now I want to have Mike Davis talk to us. Mike comes on our show periodically uh, when his schedule permits it and
Hmm.
talks to us about the youth market and how youth
Well,
view our hobby of model railroading. And Mike, really do appreciate you doing this for me.
well, I appreciate coming on. Thanks you for having me. Today I got a little side spin on my usual youth modeling. I'm not going to talk today about youth modeling as a whole, but I'm going to talk about a project I did because, well, I'm a young modeler and I like model trains. So, I guess I could work in it by saying, first off, we all are very aware that this hobby is an expensive one. Very expensive. Probably more expensive than quite a few others out there. I'm sure one or two of us have lied to our significant others about how much was on a receipt once or twice to avoid criticism. But one thing that can be done to sort of cut the cost down a little bit is not being afraid to pick up scratch and dent models or models that require a little bit of repair work or fine tuning to make them work because you get them at a cheaper price. Well, one I recently had the pleasure of picking up. It's a model of a Pacific Electric Baldwin diesel with trolley pulls on it. Now, these actually did exist. These weren't a Fubi model. They were Baldwin diesels that had trolley poles mounted for when they were leased to the Pacific Electric. The poles were necessary for tripping grade crossings and signals on the PE because their detection equipment was basically mounted on the wire, so a diesel engine would otherwise be invisible. Well, you see the engine here as I got it. The base was broken off.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Handrails were damaged. Bell was missing. Huh?
You're breaking up on your voice just a little bit.
Okay. So the forward trolley base was broken. Bell was missing. Handrail was broken. But otherwise wasn't in too bad a condition. So I got on Bowser's website and ordered some parts. Got the bell, the platform, a new hook, which was missing here. Formed it, did the painting on it, and well, that was the end result. Now the bell was the most fun trying to get going because I had to mask that part off, masked off the bell part while leaving the bracket part taped over. So I got some cheap bronzy gold paint from Home Depot and just went at it with a rattle can like I did on the platform. Now I also got some new handrails, masked off those and installed them. Yeah, side view. And this was the engine mostly through. I still had the one cheap Bowser pull on the one end, but I wasn't satisfied with just fixing it. I wanted to make it real good. And I always thought that the poles that Bowser included with their models looked kind of cheap. And I didn't like that too much. So I decided to install working trolley poles in because they look 10 times better, in my opinion. First things first, I had to install the receiver collars for the poles because these are what the pole drops into, allows it to pivot, also provides electrical contact for the one or two trolley guys who like to run their models off the overhead wire. As if installing catenary wasn't already difficult enough. So I had to sort of pre-stage it. Kind of did this out of order. Then I guess I forgot to put the picture in. I had to drill a hole below this so the color could drop in. And then I also had to paint the color, as you can see I did there. I decided to leave that part unpainted in order to give the glue something more firm to attach to. But I painted the majority of the stem, which is what you'd actually see looking at it. Then mixed up a little 2-part epoxy, which is really good stuff. I could probably glue my car to the ceiling if I wanted to. This stuff is really good glue. Dabbed it on, dropped her in. And then rinse and repeat for the cab mounted one, which is a little simpler because there's just not that much exposed. Now, what you got here is the end of the trolley pole. The poles as they came out of the package were way too long for the engine or for the application. So I had to carefully snap the trolley shoe at the end off and cut the pole down a little bit and then glue it back on. I didn't have to worry too much about electrical continuity because, well, I wasn't running off over wire. But you can see here the end result. At some point, I'm going to scratch build a trolley retriever hanging off the handrail, as well as add a rope for a little extra detailing. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the site. There's a little thing I like to call practical reality. I'm sure there's others have a different name for it, but I get to a point where I just say, you know, it's good enough. I'm going to leave it alone. And I don't know about you, gentlemen. I really like what I see at the end result of this project.
Very well done.
Additionally, thank you. Additionally, under the hood, I added a keep alive to it because despite having 6 axles of traction, it's only got 4 axles of pickup. And while Bowser does sell a kit to upgrade a 6 axle to pickup, like a lot of people my generation, I'm rather lazy and decided that putting the keep alive in was a much bigger bang for your buck as far as reliability goes. So there actually is a way to hack a keep alive into older soundtracks decoder, so I didn't have to replace the decoder, which was frankly already working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At some point, I will definitely take the shoes off, trolley shoes off, and put wheels on because that's what they carried. But that project is probably far into the future, and I might get to it when I'm probably the same age as some of you gentlemen.
Mike, that's a beautiful model. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
It is a beautiful model. It's one of 2 I've done so far. I got a VO1000 that I did the same pole treatment to. It came out of the box a lot less banged up, but I also, doing that pole project, actually, wait 1 second. I'll grab it. Busy, be in a minute. Yeah, here's the other one. And as you can see, the poles actually do work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not had the chance to see how well they track on a trolley wire because trolley modelers are a very rare species indeed. And I don't know anyone who's got a working wire on their layout. I can test this, but if I ever get the chance to, I most certainly will.
Too bad you don't live in Florida.
Why is down there?
Oh, I'm a trolley modeler. I have working overhead wire.
Oh, damn. That would be awesome if I could test both of these to see how well tracked. I believe it'll work, but I don't know anyone with a wire.
I guarantee it'll work because I've used that rationale to put trolley poles on all of my diesels and critters and you name it. If I built it in brass, it's got a trolley pole on it because I take my power from my overhead.
Does your layout have the ability to run a non-trolley equipment, or do you have the rails coming together?
I have my rails come together.
Yeah, then unfortunately my models wouldn't work on your layout because they do run off of track. They do need track power to run. The poles are purely aesthetic. They look great, but they're for looks only.
No, couldn't run on mine. I take power off the wire. It's like Lionel. I have a 3-rail system.
That system has worked very well for almost 100 years now, so they must be doing something right.
But I appreciate so much you showing us your modeling, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for letting me show it. And
yes,
thank you. Thanks for the compliment, Mr. Rogers from Bakersfield. It looks great and it runs real nice.
That's most of the battle, isn't it?
Truly.
You have a
Right.
good one. Thank you so
You
much.
too. Thank
Frank.
you, Jim.